Good morning, New Prague area schools and New Prague community. Welcome to Supt Talk. It is December and we're very happy to be here, and happy holidays to everyone within the community and the school district. Good morning, Mr. Dibberner.
Good morning.
So we're here today and we'll just start off with Mr. Dibberner and see if there's anything new going on within the district, or if there's anything that he would like to update all of our viewers on.
I'd probably say the biggest thing that's happening, we got a ribbon cutting ceremony tomorrow, is on the Fitness and Aquatic Center. That's all going on right now. We opened the center, the dual memberships for everything on November 5th. So it's been almost 5 weeks and it's going great. We got over 1,200 members, and it's a pretty neat thing. We're getting a lot of the memberships from what was at Mayo Fitness Center, and they coming over, and basically the membership is rate for them has pretty much stayed flat from what it was. Now they get the aquatic center, and obviously too the gymnasium, a lot of open gym hours there. That's become very, very popular for kids. And so got the workout space with cardio, the weight machines, we have 3 fitness studios, of course the whole aquatics piece, and the gymnasium. So yeah, it's going good. We get a lot of positive feedback, and if you're interested in getting a membership, get online or get on our website, and all the information is there.
Absolutely, and I'd just like to remind everybody that's in the CEC building, or the Community Education Campus, where the district office is at. So a lot of people coming in and out of the buildings.
Yeah, it's been very popular, and especially with our seniors too in the mornings. We have classes in our multi-purpose room down there, and coffee's on from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every day. So it's been, not just a fitness piece, but also I think a good social piece that fits into our community.
Absolutely, and as Mr. Dibberner said, the ribbon cutting will have taken place by the time you have watched this, but we brought the Chamber of Commerce in, and the city, and maybe just Mr. Dibberner talk a little bit about the joint powers and how the city was also involved in kind of just making sure that what we have going was kind of the same as the aquatic center, and that. Yeah,
we have a joint powers agreement with the city, so we share all expenses, revenue, 50-50 with the city. The school does the day-to-day managing operations. So we have a joint powers board where we have 3 representatives from the city and 3 from the school district that oversee the whole venture that we have going.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you very much. That's very exciting. As I said, there's a lot of traffic, a lot of people coming through, and there's a lot of excitement around the new Fitness and Aquatic Center. So hopefully you can try it out. On my left here will be our first guest for today, and we're very excited to have our new high school principal with us, Miss Nicole Adams. Good morning, Miss Adams.
Good morning, Mr. Boothie.
And thank you very much for being with us in Supt Talk. We'll just, before Mr. Dibberner starts with some questions, sure, I'll just kind of ask you to tell our viewers just a little bit about yourself, kind of your educational background.
Sure. Well, currently I'm a resident of Elko, Newmarket. I've lived there for the past 5 years, but I'm actually not from Minnesota originally. I grew up in Massachusetts, and I taught social studies, history mainly, at the middle and high school level for about 9 years before relocating to Minnesota. And upon arriving in Minnesota, I finished my principal's license. And I've worked at Chanhassen High School as a dean of students. I was at Owatonna High School as assistant principal for 4 years, and principal at Lisa Henderson for 2 years prior to coming here at New Prague.
All right. Well, thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Well, Nicole, I'm sure a lot of people from outside the school district, when they see you socially or whatever, have asked you, what are your thoughts, or how's it going? Just what do you think?
Sure.
How's it going as principal here at New Prague High School? What are your thoughts?
Well, before I started here, I had a little bit of a view of our impression of New Prague High School, just because I did live in the community. And I had the impression that we had kids who were highly engaged, families who were engaged, who had high expectations and who support the schools and the staff here. And I'm happy to say that that view is pretty consistent with my actual experience. We do have really great kids here. We have kids with a wide variety of interests and skills, and I think the thing that I appreciate the most, though, is how kind and caring they are. We have staff who is very dedicated and is always striving to improve, and we have families who are really working with us, and it's just been a really great overall first few months here.
Okay. Well, as a principal, what do you want to accomplish in your first year as principal here?
Well, the first year, I know that New Prague High School, we have a really great reputation and we have a lot of great things going on. So in my first year, it's really a lot of learning, listening, and assessing what our needs are. What's working well? What do we want to keep building on? And then what are some areas where we need to adjust and improve? And so my first year is really focusing on culture, climate, bringing staff together, working through collaborative processes, and focusing on some of the processes that are already in place and how can we improve those, and how can we continue to improve our communication and relationship building with the community and our families.
Okay. How about any positive highlights or things that stand out in the first part of the year here for us?
I mean, it's funny, sometimes the small things are the most impactful thing. I try, doesn't happen every day, but I try to greet students as they come into the building several times a week. And it's been I'm really enjoying that I'm starting to get to know kids. They know who I am. As opposed to the start of the year, it was kind of like, who's this strange lady saying hello to us? And getting the opportunity to interact with students at choir concerts, band concerts, athletic events, when I see them out in the community. I just think there's been a lot of great opportunities where I'm seeing those relationships grow and build and getting to know staff. Homecoming was a great day, kind of like got to see New Prague Pride on display, and that was sort of like that first time that I ever felt like that huge sense of pride to be here.
That was with Miss Adams was on her, you weren't at the parade, she was driving her Harley Davidson, right? Leaving
Yes.
the high school staff with her Harley Davidson. So it's been a while since we've had a principal that drove a Harley Davidson. But,
We have had them, though.
we have had them. So it was great to see you do that, and it's great to have you here. Nicole, of course, prior districts before she was hired, I was getting calls from a number of people that I know, staff members from other schools, telling about what a great job she's done at former places she's been at. So we're very happy to have her, and as we go through this new year, we'll keep working on things to get better.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's great to be here.
Thank you very much for being with us, Miss Adams.
Yeah.
We appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
We'll take a break and we'll be right back with our next guest. Welcome back to Supt Talk. Well, and thank you very much for Miss Adams being with us, our new high school principal. We're very excited about her. And as you can see around us, we've got a few students and one of our teachers. We're very excited to have everyone with us today. We have our Raven Stream Media Center, or Creative Commons director, and that is Miss Lisa Meyer. And we welcome Miss Meyer to the show today. And on my left here, I have fourth grader at Raven Stream, Brooke Solheide. And to my right, I have sixth grader, Jacob Killian. Welcome to Supt Talk, everyone, and we're very excited to have you with us today. Why don't you start, Jacob, and just kind of tell us, our viewers, a little bit about yourself.
I'm a sixth grader at the middle school. I have two sisters, a brother, and I like to build in my free time different things with Legos, or even just wood and nails and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So,
Very good. Thank you, and welcome to the show, Jacob. Brooke?
My name is Brooke Solheid. I am a fourth grader at Raymond Stream Elementary. I like to do gymnastics and soccer in my free time. I grew up here in Minnesota.
All right.
All right,
Well,
great.
thank you, Brooke. Welcome. Okay, Ms. Meyer?
Hey, my name is Ms. Meyer. I am the media specialist at Raven Stream Elementary, and this is my 14th year in the district. I went to college at Concordia in Seward, Nebraska, and then got my master's at St. Kate's here in St. Paul. I just love reading and sharing books with everyone, and I guess I just enjoy learning. There you go.
All right, so we've got our three guests here today, and they're going to talk a little bit about what some of our viewers might remember as the library. Some viewers may remember as Media Center, and now even our elementary schools are calling our old library media centers Creative Commons. And we're just going to kind of find out what is kind of evolving and what's kind of changing a little bit in that area, and that's why we had these guests here today. So we'll turn it over to Mr. Dibburner, and he can ask some questions to our guests.
Yeah, I'll first ask Ms. Myers, and let's talk about the space, because back in the day, whether it's parents or grandparents, it was known as a library, and then you heard the media center, now Creative Commons, and you talk about Makerspace Activities, which we'll talk about in a second. Why don't you let the viewers know of the changes that take place and what it looks like now compared to what it was?
Okay, yeah, when I went to elementary school, the library was just a room with books on the shelves. Went in, the librarian read a story, which we all enjoyed. I still think that's very important. And we checked out a book. Now when you go into our Creative Commons, you're going to come in, you're going to see Chromebooks, we have a touch screen, we have a 3D printer, we have a building station with a Lego wall with different building blocks there. We have an art creative center where you can create with paper, glue, markers, whatever. So there's a lot more technology. And a lot more areas to just create and invent and imagine.
So when we say, you hear the term Makerspace Activity, so is it those things you're talking about, or what type of activities is Makerspace Activity?
Okay, yeah, like a Makerspace Activity was, what we'd do is go through like the engineering process. We give them a problem, and they ask a problem and they have to try to solve. So then they go through brainstorming, what can I do to solve this problem? They plan, they'll gather their materials, and then they create something. Okay, and then after they create it, they look at it and think, is there any way that I can improve on this? Okay, so like in our creative building area, like our Lego wall, right now we have a Lego challenge going up about how far we can have a Lego go out from the wall without falling, and you can hold it. So like right now, our longest is 52 inches, which is, I think, very, very long. They're figuring out how to build it and structurally make it work. So,
Okay,
fun.
cool. Jacob, what's your favorite Makerspace activity?
So at ours, we have this little Keva blocks, which are these like, they're kind of like Jenga blocks, but we have like there's a whole ton of them, and they have little marbles. So I like to build towers and just make a huge marble course, and then when Makerspace is over, I just knock it all down, which is fun.
So when is, at the middle school, when do you have time for this? When is this built into the day? Is it during a class, or when is it?
It's during what I was told is called tutorial, where we can just sign up for whatever class we need to or want to, and Makerspace is one of those options.
Okay, so you have that several times a week where you can either do that, or I think other kids, they can get help from other teachers in different subject areas too. So it's sort of a free time built in, right? Mm-hmm. All right, Brooke, how about you? What are some of your favorite activities?
Well, currently in media, we are working with Little Bits,
Okay.
which you can make like small electric circuits out of it. And right now we are having a challenge to build robots out of it.
Okay.
And I also really enjoyed the Lego wall.
Okay, the Lego wall too. Good, good. Well, Ms. Myers, how about any other things to add, or what do you look in the future? I mean, we're making this change now. How does it look, for next year and going on?
Right. This change has been starting for a few years now, like when we got our 3D printer and then we got our little bits and now we're getting our building, and I can just see us looking in the future of what else students are going to need to create and be creative and collaborate and to communicate with each other. So that's really what we're building on, is helping students become critical problem solvers. So I'm looking at like maybe getting a green screen, there's lots of things out there that we can do. So I'm just kind of looking and seeing what will work best.
Awesome. Well, I know all 3 elementary schools are working together. We've got Ravenstream in the middle school working together and represented here today, but all 3 of our media specialists get together regularly and talk, and I've been part of some of that, and I'm really impressed with the work that you 3 have been doing. So this is in all of our elementaries and the middle school, and Miss Most has done a great job in the middle school. So we really thank everybody. I did remember Brooke was talking about a chain, though. I wanted to make sure she got to talk about that chain. Can you fill us in a little bit on that?
Yes. So a few weeks ago, we had a challenge where you had to make the longest paper chain you could without it breaking, with 12 inches of tape, 2 pieces of construction paper. And me and my partner were the group that ended up winning, with the length was 280 inches. And we used the strategy to cut the paper as thin as we could, the long way, so that it would be longer and we could save more paper, and cut the tape as thin as we could so that we could use less tape and make more pieces.
Well, that sounds like you really had a lot of thought that went into that. So 280 inches. Okay. Jake, I heard hammers and nails. Is that at home that you do that? And if so, what is the best thing that you've ever built with hammer and nails?
Well,
that your parents would let you.
Well, I've actually built hammers, and I actually use drills and screws more than hammers and nails. But I actually have 2 projects that I'm working on. One of them is like this bicycle camper, and another one is a boat that I'm working on version 3 right now, because the other ones have not been working. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's exciting. I know Mr. Dibburner likes to work with hammers and nails and screw guns too.
I'm Mr. Handy. But
You could maybe.
I could have used this activity when I was younger, but didn't have that.
Great. Well, Jacob and Brooke and Miss Meyer, thank you so much for being here. And this is something that all of our kids within the elementaries and the middle school are getting exposed to, and working through the Creative Commons and the media centers many times a week. And I'm glad that you guys have these opportunities. And I can't thank you enough for being here today. You all did a wonderful job. So thank you very much, and happy holidays to you. And happy holidays to all of our viewers. Thank you for watching Supt Talk, and we will see you in 2019.